I'll tell you a story. When I was doing something for Netflix, I wrote a show for India and Netflix, and there was a whole episode there where they were like fighting over a birthday cake, and it was pretty classic comedy, you know, fighting over the birthday cake. Each one wants to eat it, and they're grabbing it, and
Right.
eventually it splatters on the floor, and nobody gets it. You know, pretty classic sort of setup. And I thought it was, you know, and we got a note back that was, hey, you know, this is like, you know, we don't want to encourage like overeating and yeah, I know. And I was like, wow, really? Like I was a little bit shocked. So like, so that was very interesting because, you know, because that was like about goodness, that was probably about 8 years ago, maybe at this point. So
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, that
yeah,
timeline of when
right.
comedy was, yeah, that makes
Right. It
sense.
was like right in the middle of all that. And so like, and I remember having to explain it to India because, you know, because they were like, what? Like, and, and I was like, yeah, standards and practices here, you know, is very, very delicate about a lot of stuff. And that, and again, that was the time. And you're right. Probably that would have been something that could have easily, that nowadays, I don't think anyone would blink an eye at, but that was an interesting thing. You know, you don't even think, you know, when you're writing it. So so that was one story where I actually did run into stuff like that. But I generally will say to myself, hey, the editor has to earn their living too. And I'll
Right.
put it in. And if they don't like it, they can send it back. And sometimes they'll send it back and sometimes it gets through and that's it.
Right. Wow. Um,
Yeah,
so
that was weird.
yeah, but it also makes sense at that time.